What up, brothers? Welcome back to my channel for yet another new review on a figure that I'm buzzing to see, but also buzzing I didn't have to buy. I've been done a massive favour by two good friends. They've sent me this figure. As you can see, it's the Iron Man 3 Mark 36 Peacemaker. The Iron Man fans will know it. I understand it only got released last Saturday out there in Singapore, and it's been a bitch to find, even for the guys in Hong Kong, but I'll clear that story up later. While I'm talking about Singapore, I will say a massive thank you to a couple of new friends over there, Paul and Belinda. Massive thanks out to you. You did me a big favour last week. You know what it were, and that will become a lot clearer in the next few videos. So those will look out for me. I'll make sure I stay loyal to you. So thanks for what you did for me. I will also obviously thank Anthony, Budget Stark. Since I welcomed him into this community, he's been a massive help to me, and by that I mean the figures that I wouldn't necessarily want to buy but I'd like to see, he's always more than willing to send them out to me and say, look, send them out. If you want them, you can buy them from me once you've seen it. If you don't and you want to sell it, or you want to put it through eBay, or even if you want to hold on to it and I'll just come and collect them next time I'm in UK, not a problem, I'll do that for you. And he does it, he's as good as his word, and he keeps my channel relevant, and a massive shout out to him. Like I said, when I welcomed him into community, I think it pushed a couple of people's nose out of joint, but I've got to say and nail my colours to mast. I'll support Anthony while ever he gives me reason not to, sort of thing, or until he gives me reason not to. So massive thanks to him, because he has put a massive boost on my channel, and that's the honest truth for it, because where the big companies won't touch me, they don't like the swearing and they don't like the over-opinionated style, I don't think. Anthony's been more than good to his word. He has basically sponsored my channel, a massive shout out. Two other guys that have done that is firstly Bruce Hodge, who has bought this figure and this belongs to him. He allows me to review the things that he's bought, or he'll always say, I've just bought so-and-so, are you interested in reviewing it? You can have it before I even see it, whatever. Like I say, they don't know how much help they are to me. They always message me and say what I've done for them, and I'm grateful that they will tell me that, but I never really said to them the appreciation I've got for what they've done for me. So Bruce Hodge will be the first, and then another guy you probably all know, Christopher Harris, he's the same. If he buys anything new, it's so, Rick, do you want to review it? I'll get Anthony to send it straight to you. And I'm like, well, thanks. It's sometimes figures that I would be getting myself anyway, sometimes figures I've no interest in at all, but like I say, it means I'm getting to see twice as many figures without having to shell out any money, so how could I not be grateful for that? So massive thanks to you guys. Right. Let me tell you a bit of a backstory how I come to this. Like I understand, it got released at the Singapore Toy Fair last Saturday. I don't think it's been released or even pre-ordered anywhere else. It might be the case that it might be on Sideshow Freaks now, but I don't know. It's not a figure that I've followed. I only know what I've heard on grapevine, so to speak. So the way I understand it, a couple of guys in Singapore picked these up because obviously they were at the Toy Fair, but they couldn't get the Python. So Anthony said, well, I can get so many Pythons. Is there a chance that I can swap you a Python for one of those? And I think he ended up with 2 or 3 of these. So in case that he wanted one for his display and whatever, and then this one had become spare, so to speak. So I will say the price on it is massive. It is Hot Toys exclusive again, so it is going to be hard to find. I don't know how many they make. Like I said, it wouldn't have been a figure I'd have chased down, so to speak. Although we're buzzing to see it because it's a lot bigger than the other Iron Man I've seen. There is something very imposing about it and very different to anything I've seen. So yeah, that's how I understood it come out. Another thing, and I will mention this, a lot of people when they send me messages through Facebook, I get very flattered, very embarrassed, and sometimes I even think, fucking hell, climb out my arse, you no need to go so far. That's the honest truth for it. But one of the key things that people will say about me as a reviewer or as a person is, you're more than honest. And I think, well, most people are honest. Most reviewers I know, Rhino's honest, Morris is honest, Nenny's honest. Most of the guys, Dean, when he talks, he's really honest. Most of the guys I know are honest. But I think where I'd be more than prepared to put the honesty to the test, so to speak, regardless of who I'll offend, I don't know if the other guys do that. Now, what I'm going to say is, I've scored up this review. and this figure has broke a record, and I'm going to put my honesty to the test, because bear in mind this has come from one friend, it's been bought by another friend, and I'm just a middleman reviewing it. So I'm not going to sugarcoat fuck all on it. It's going to get told as it is. I'm going to tell you the things I like, the things I don't like, and like I say, however that would affect the sale and the purchase, then so be it. But I am going to be honest, both parties already know that. Right, let's fucking stop bullshitting. I think I've said all I need to say. Let's crack straight on to source material. Before we do, although he's on his base, just got him upright. Looking at this, just moving up. Will say beautiful colour scheme. When I took it out of the box, I will say the initial thought on it was like, fucking hell, beastly. Looked really good. Got it out, set it up, and then other things start to happen, but I will let you in on them. Source material wise, it is from Iron Man 3. I have reviewed figures from Iron Man 3 before, and I've always given it a 3 out of 5. I am going to give it a 3 out of 5, although I can honestly say I don't even remember seeing this Iron Man in the film, and I've watched the film 3 times. So I always think, should I give it 0 because I don't remember it from the film, or do I just take into account the film that it came from? So I am going to do that and give it a 3 out of 5 for source material. So we'll quickly get the figure out of the way and we'll roll on to packaging. Rolling on to packaging, and I might go for a new world record. The most important thing I would say on the packaging is the Hot Toys exclusive label. That pretty much puts 50 quid on any figure that comes out, because they're telling us it's a limited amount. We don't know if it is or not, because they don't give any run sizes. But like I say, because it's got that on, you know you can bump it onto eBay and push the price straight up. So that is the most important thing on the packaging. The design of the packaging is uniform to the Python figure, which I have seen the reviews on the channel. Please check it out if you haven't already. Same graphics, they would look good displayed together. I do like sort of the flat orange and black, and then the metallic sandpaper section where the figure would be. Very little artwork on the sides and back. In fact, nothing on back, so I'm not even going to turn it around. I do like it. It is just a slip cover. Good standard cardboard. Better than the Terminator figure that I recently reviewed. So I'm going to give it what I always give a slip cover. Just a very simple or very standard 3 out of 5. Right, rolling on to his likeness. And I've got to say, I don't even know where to fucking begin with this, because I normally cover facial likeness. There's no face to show you. So then I've got to think, right, does the helmet or the head section look accurate? And I can't even remember it from the film to even say, yeah, it does. What I see when I look at it is reused parts of other Iron Man figures. And I think to myself, what can I say here? Yeah, it looks like Red Snapper, but in different colours. Or, yeah, it does look like a metal helmet. Or, yeah, it does look like it could be a version of an Iron Man. I really don't know what to tell you. What I can say is the head fits the body. The paintwork is awesome. The colour code is really nice. The scratches and weathering effect look realistic. I haven't put the batteries in because, like I say, it's not my figure, so I don't want to start tinkering around with a screwdriver around it. So I can't show the light up feature. But I do always believe if somebody else has bought the figure, then that's their job to do if they choose to. I honestly don't know what to tell you. The likeness is... Do I feel that Robert Downey Jr. is inside it? It could be, no idea. It don't fucking lift up, so I can't tell you. Could it have done with a likeness? Could I tell you that? Yeah, I can't see why they haven't, because it's just a matter of putting another helmet on, an Iron Man figure, and then putting that same sculpt inside. They could have done it, they didn't. Although fans would come back and say, well, you never see him inside the suit, so how do you know he's inside it and it's not a remote control one? To that I would say, I ain't got a fucking clue. I don't care enough to do research. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The facial likeness, all I can say is it looks like an head and it's painted correctly. It would fit in line with your other Iron Man figures. I would think if you have got the Red Snapper and you've got your Python and you've got your Heartbreaker coming and you've got your Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5 million, then it's going to fit in with them. That's about all I can tell you on likeness, and I feel very, very amateurish, but I don't really know what to give the score on. So, fucking hell. I'm going to give it a 2, because if the head were undersized or it didn't go in line with your thing, then I would have probably given it a 1 and said it's pretty much fucking disgusting. Don't worry about it. But like I say, it would fit in line. And if you're an Iron Man fan, that's the thing I keep coming back to. If I was an Iron Man fan, would I be buzzing to have it in hand? And I think I probably would. And like I say, I think it would look good with your other Iron Men. So I'm just going to take a fucking stab in dark and just say the likeness is a 2 out of 5. Let's move down. Right, moving on to the outfit. And I've got to be honest here, I feel a bit of a prick telling you this, but I'm gonna. This is what happened last night. When I took the figure out of the box, as soon as I took it out, well, when I looked at it, I thought, fucking hell, awesome. Look at size of it, it's massive. It fills box, it's very imposing. It just looks beastly. And I think if you go back and watch my unboxing video, you'll hear me say that. Beast, some shit like that. Then I touched it and pulled it out and I thought, fucking hell, it feels hollow. It feels very, very toyish. And bearing in mind, I've got the Mark 42. That's the only Iron Man I've got at the moment. And I'm thinking, I don't feel that cold steel. It don't feel as heavy. And I thought, well, I knew it weren't die cast, so what were I expecting? So I'm feeling it. I'm thinking, it feels toyish. It feels light. It feels just like another Iron Man. That's how it felt. Then I stood it on table on this stand. And its legs were symmetrical like that. Let's move up. And its pelvis was symmetrical. And then I kept looking up. The arc reactor were off to his right, my left. And his head was straight like that. And I thought, whoa, hold your fucking horses. What is going on here? And I actually took out my iPhone, WhatsApped Anthony, who were in bed. This is honest truth. Straight after that unboxing that you saw, I actually video messaged Anthony, who were in bed, and said, Anthony, I know you sold this figure. I've checked everything that you told me were delicate on it, the little pipes and the little hinges, and to move these before I fucking try and pose it. I said, I haven't posed it at all. I've stood it on its stand, and it's not symmetrical. So I went into depth in this video. I says, it looks like he's been rotated, but there's no rotation. I says, his chest pushed off over there, and it's not symmetrical. I says, I can't send that on to anybody. I said, I'm going to have to send it you back. So about 2 hours later, which is about 4 o'clock in the morning, Anthony's time, actually sends me another message. Rick, thanks for letting me know you think there's a problem, but fact of the matter is, it's supposed to be like that. I like you fucking joking. And in my mind, half of my brain's thinking, he's only selling that because he sold it. And other half of my mind saying, is it? Am I really that out of touch with Iron Man that I don't know? And I thought, really? He says, yeah, it's to Jim that, like, when he's, even though he don't pose upper body, it's to make him look more dynamic. He says the red snapper's exactly the same. And I thought, have I just walk him up for no apparent reason? So I went to Hot Toys' own page and I looked at first 3 photos and his rate, every one is exactly the same. So where the ab section there, that is the central line of the ab section. And as you see, his arc reactor's off that way. And I thought, what a fucking idiot. I can't believe I didn't know. It is how it's supposed to be. Check every picture you see on Hot Toys and they're all exactly the same. And I thought, you fucking moron. I'm like, sorry for waking you up, Tone. I thought, fucking, and that is how it went. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, I stood it up and then I started to feel like, no, it's not all that. I'll tell you the things, and this is going to sort of cover the outfit and the articulation. The things I don't like about it, which is just about everything, the head articulation goes from somewhere there to about there. There's no up or that's it down. When you move the upper arm section, you can only go so far because before long that meets that. So you're limited how far you can go there. I was told that be careful with the elbow because the small orange things around the hinge, which if I just show that bit that's holding the orange plate to that hinge, that there's been reportings of that snapping. So I've been careful as fuck with it. So I'm restricted with the arms. The swivel at top of arms is nearly non-existent. The upper body articulation is none because these pistons are all fixed. Obviously same on other arm. I will just show these hinges. They're really, really fine. As you can see, they are still in working order on this one because I've hardly touched them. So look out for that. There's no drop down, so you can bend his. You can bend his arm like that, and obviously that don't move the pad, but that's using the lower section of his elbow. The hands are just standard with the guards attached to the hand. I've not swapped them out yet, but I will do. Going round the back. The only movement on the jetpack, the way I understand it, is to take this section off to put the batteries in. Like I said, I haven't done that, so there's no flaps to open or anything. Same moving down the back. The only movement is on this back of his sort of Achilles, just so the foot can move freely. And on that side, no flaps or anything like that. He will bend his leg, and these pistons do work, but it is really, really limited. Just show you the side mechanism of the foot. It all looks good, I'll be honest. It does look good. It looks very eye-catching, very different to what I've seen. There's articulation in there, but I don't want to do it because of the position of the foot. These are very fragile. This could be fragile, and the foot section is broken up into 3 parts, like that. So if he were a human inside, his real foot would end there, and then he's got these sort of stilts on, that sort of thing. The most important part of the articulation is these. To be able to move his legs forward or back, you've got to pull the thigh guard down. The spring loaded, as you can see. They do work nice, but it's a bit of a pisser to do it. And I will say the detail and everything on it is really good. It still looks good. I think if you get it on in your all-armour, you're going to be happy to have it. Unless you've just paid price for it, then you're going to be like, oh, fucking hell, I've paid all that money and I've just got it stood there and it's not symmetrical. Which would drive me fucking bananas, I've got to be honest. I hate it. I'm going to be honest, as a figure, I fucking hate it. I hate nearly everything about it. It's one of them. If I'd have bought it, I'd have been pissed. And I hope this review sorts it out for some of you guys. I think it looks good, but everything about it, touching it, feeling it, everything else, I fucking hate it. And I'll get on to other reasons why. But the outfit, it looks good. Like I said, visually, it's very good. Functionality is fucking terrible. So I'm going to give the outfit a straight out middle, because I would have bumped it up on the appearance, because I do like the orange and black together, and then the metallic sections, I would have bumped it right up, but then because the functionality is dog shit, I'd have bumped it right back down. So it's going to end up where it does, which is a 3 out of 5. So I know I've pretty much covered the articulation and the outfit all together, because one hinders the other. That is the case. Like I said, I don't know. It does look good, like I said, and it does look realistic. As you can see, the scratches on here, on the paintwork. You get the riot control feeling from it, and I suppose in a display and you get it set up, it could look okay, but like I said, for me to try and review it, it's been a total nightmare. That's the honest truth for it. The pose I've got here is about as extreme as every joint will go. Obviously, I've treated it with care, getting it to there. It will only hold that position basically because this singular crutch, it sort of balances on this hook. I will show you that in a minute. It sort of balances on that, and then as you can see, I've got the back foot on the step, so he's sort of holding his weight there and there and there. You see I've got him in this position, which is not the most articulated. It is very robotic and not very natural looking, but that's about as extreme as it can go. So I don't know, the Predators are better than this by a million miles. The real steel figures were better by a million miles. The Mark 42 is just a fucking different league altogether. This I can only give a 1. Like I said, it feels like there's about 6 points of articulation on it, and that's not enough for me. I'm a collector who likes natural lines or extreme poses if that's what I want to do. And this, it doesn't get illusion or any. So I can only give the articulation a 1 out of 5. Right, rolling on to his extras and accessories, which shouldn't take long at all. So I'm going to show them. I'm going to tell you what I wish they'd changed about them. And also, there's something in there that fucking disgusts me to my very core. And I'll explain that to you. Obviously, I've got the guy himself stood up. There's not a great deal more I can do pose-wise. If you tune into my videos for the poses, go back to my channel and find a different figure, because this ain't it. I'm going to leave it as it is. I don't want to mess about. The pose I could get wouldn't be rewarding enough for me to do them with the risk of, I don't know, marking some paint or something. I don't want to do that for Bruce. This is obviously a figure he really wants, regardless what I say. So, yeah, let's move on. The stand is in line with a lot of the Iron Man figures we're getting now. It's pretty much just a base to put into your all armour to hold your figure up. Now, This is the first time I've seen one of these style. It is just a curved off spike. It is adjustable height-wise because I ain't screwed it up tight. It just basically traps between his legs and holds him up. It does work really well and is a nice... I would like them to use that idea moving forward. A little bit shallower, I think, for the normal figures instead of the crutch grab. I do like that. The base is hollow. It could hold batteries. These could light up, but they don't. So, I don't know. The materials are there. Just add a little bit extra and give us a light up base. That might have bumped the points up, but they never. Moving down, the set of batteries, obviously 3 for each arm, 3 for the chest, 3 for the head. I've not put them in. You do get the tool for putting them in as well. I haven't put them in because, like I said, it's not my figure to start messing about with a screwdriver around it. So I think the light up features on the videos I've seen and the pictures do look really good actually on this, and you can see the arc reactor looks really, really detailed, so I think it would look awesome lit up, but like I said, I didn't want to do it because it's not my figure. You get a set of articulated hands, like I said, left and right, with the hand guard attached to them. I've not swapped them in this review because there were no need really. I couldn't get them into a pose that would have really warranted them to be up. And then the sort of the angled pulse blast. So right and left of that. Moving across to the instruction manual, definitely read it on this figure, guys. There is fragile parts. It will tell you what articulation it will do and what not to. Like I said, read it because pretty much everything you move clashes, and by that I mean it rubs against something else. So read it, make sure you're doing it right. Don't risk ruining the best part of this figure, which is the paint job. Don't risk that to try and articulate it. The other thing that I was talking about that fucking disgusted me to my very core is I put it behind here because I didn't want it to see light of day. And I hope, honestly, that this is a fucking trend that ceases right now. See what that is? That's right. It's a little pack of stickers. And when I saw them in thing, they fell out of this booklet onto my thing, and I was like, you know when it takes your breath away and you stand back like something scared, like somebody's just chucked a tarantula on your fucking kitchen table, you'd be like that. What the fuck? That's how I felt when that thing. I thought, hold on a fucking minute here. Is this a £250 figure, plus, in some cases, or is it a fucking Kinder Surprise where we've got to put our own stickers on? I thought, what the fuck is going on there? And then inside here, it tells you the way to put them. I thought, no, my friend, not happening. We buy these top-end figures because they come ready painted and screen accurate. So don't fucking fob us off with some of these stickers that chances are some of us have got big fat sausage fingers, aren't going to be able to put them in right place to start with, and rest of us will put them on, probably fucking have to move them 3 times before they look right, and before you know it, back at stickers got no fucking tack on back of it, and they're just fucking rolling off your sticker. I thought, fucking hell. I remember putting them on our Callum's old trikes when he was about 2, and I thought to myself, no, please don't start this trend, Hot Toys, because I don't fucking want to know about that. So get them stickers the fuck up out of here. Don't want to know about them. Extras, garbage. Can't say no more than that. The stand could be better. They could give another head sculpt like the Silver Centurion. They didn't. They could give the Robert Downey underneath here. They didn't. Hands, you get these hands with every Iron Man. Like I said, the batteries, you're going to need them to light it up. It's fuck all really, and at this price point it's pretty disgusting, to be honest. So on extras this time, I've got to give it a fucking 1 out of 5. Right, rolling on to value. And to make this category interesting, I've just stood up the Mark 42, the diecast one, just to give you a size comparison. And also, I suppose, a value comparison, because I know the amount that Bruce has actually paid for this. And I will say, in Anthony's defence, it is a lot less than the going rate, because some of these are going for between 300 and 350 quid now to try and pick these up. And I know that Anthony sold it Bruce for less than that, a lot less than that. And I have also said, I want to say this, normally when I review a figure and send it on to the person pays the shipping from me. On this, because it's a top end figure and it cost a lot, I'm actually paying the shipping this time on this figure. So like I said, I do know exactly the amount that Bruce has paid, but I'm not going to tell everybody that because that's them two guys' business. But what I will say is, he's paid more for that than I paid for that. Nah, I don't know what the 42 goes for now, because the 42 is pretty much the creme de la creme Iron Man figure. It kicks its arse all over. I can't say no more honest than that. the head sculpts you get, your battle damage pieces, the base is better, everything is better on the 42. It feels better in hand, it's weighty, it's just a lot better figure, and the Peacemaker costs more. I've got to say it like this. If somebody gave me this figure for free, I wouldn't thank them for it. Or I would. I'd say cheers for that, and I'd be on fucking eBay within an hour. That's what I would do with it. From a collector's point of view, if you're an Iron Man fan, I think you'll love it, because I think it'll set your collection off a treat. I think people will be buzzing around for it, and I think the value will stay up high. But for me, who is a neutral Iron Man fan, only wants one in the collection, I'd pick about fucking 7 others before I went to this one. It's not articulated enough for me. It's pretty much a toy feeling statue. So that is my thought. So like I said, shop around if you really want it. It's out there, but it's expensive. If you're asking me my opinion which Iron Man to get, I would still say get the 42 for now. Although I do prefer a lot more red on my Iron Man, but that is definitely still the one to have. Value wise, I can only score it as a value to me. I can't score it to... I mean, them guys in Singapore, fucking hell, they were buzzing for it last weekend. I've never seen so many fucking Iron Man posts on one Facebook group in all my life. So I bet there's about fucking 2 million of them over there shouting and calling me every fucking name under the sun, like, fucking Clipper, you prick, you're not even an Iron Man fan. Don't review any more Iron Mans, you've been banned. And I'm like, look, I can only fucking tell you what I think of it. And like I said, I wouldn't have it, me personally. And I think I've made that clear. The value, I know what it costs, I know what it brings. There's no bang for buck for me. Like I said, I certainly wouldn't buy it. So I'm going to give the value a 1 out of 5 again. Sorry. Like I said, a bigger Iron Man fan than me will love it. I know they will, because everything about it is what they love about the Iron Man figures. The sort of variants in the outfits, the colour schemes, the engineering that goes into it. I don't give a shit about any of that, I've got to be honest. So like I said, to me the value is a 1 out of 5. I said the figure had broke a record, it has. It's my lowest ever scoring figure. It's got 14 out of a possible 35. Like I said, I told Anthony I was going to do this. I've even spoke to Bruce and said I was going to do this. I said, I don't know if it affects your deal, but I don't know. And Anthony said, in his defence, he said, look, I'm not bothered. He says, if the figure... He says, even if it meant the figure had not sold, he says, I don't give a shit. He says, review it honest. He says, because that's what I like about you, and that's what everybody else likes about you. He says, I won't want you to sugarcoat out. He said, and these are his words, not mine. He says, I won't want you to become a Sean Long. And I was thinking, well, I agree with that to an extent, but I won't mind fucking Sean Long sponsorships and viewing figures. So, stop slagging off Sean Long now, fucking Anthony. You've only come into community, you're picking on one at fucking community. God's my friend. Nah, just fucking about, but yeah. That is my thoughts on the figure. It's another review done. If you like it, get on it. If you don't like me, then leave it alone. But for now, I'm out of here.